Good afternoon. I am Curtis Brown Jr., a senior in supply chain management from Memphis, Tennessee, and our presentation is about our community gardens. Charter document. Project name is Community Gardens Initiative. Project managers include Curtis Brown Jr., Kelsey Carey, Rachel Beeman, and Adam Sega. Start date, June 1st, and our end date goal is August 28th. Project statement states, in the past, community gardeners have failed to keep up the appearance of the gardens. To avoid this, we have committed to make sure that the fence, signage, and tool shed design will be attractive and consistent with the neighborhood standards and legal requirements. Goal statement. The purpose of creating this community garden is to make a safe environment where people in our community can have fresh veggies and be educated on health and STEM tools. Charter document continued. Stakeholders include our neighborhood association presidents, Sue Previsor and Jack Willis. Deliverables include gardening seeds and tools, water, gloves, wood, and first aid kits. Communication will be through email, cell phones, in-person meetings, and if not, Zoom. Our schedule is looking at in June, the days we have Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Our volunteers will be cleaning the area and preparing to place wood borders for the plants. In July, we have Tuesdays and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Volunteers will begin planting and watering the seeds for our plants and vegetables. In August, we have Wednesday and Saturdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Volunteers will use this time to prepare any last-minute cleanups or plantings that need to be done. Also, we'll add signage and fencing to make community gardens apparent to the community as they come to the park. Scope document. Deliverables include about 25 gardening seeds, and we will use these garden seeds to place in the ground so the vegetables will start to grow. Gardening tools, we will use those to place the seeds and plants in the ground. Also use tools to build the borders and fencing. We will need water so the volunteers will stay hydrated, and we will need about 50 pairs of gloves, and we will use the gloves to protect the volunteers' hands. We will need blocks of wood to build borders around the plants and fencing. And we will need about 6 first aid kits just in case someone cuts or harm themselves.
Hello, Politician. My name is Adam Segowitz. I am project manager for Vegetable Gardens, and I'm here to talk to you today about the schedule I have proposed for the 5-month project. First things first, we need to obtain the plot. Once that is accomplished, I have a team of including local youths, Billy, Sue, Joe, and Sally. Tom is also a neighborhood volunteer who's going to be crucial in the project. I have my neighbor Fran, who is going to share some insight with me to help on the endeavor as well. So once the plot is obtained, I have the youth assigned in cleaning up the area, just any debris, trash, weeds, and stuff like that. I have a good friend Mike, who's a carpenter. He's going to assist in building a fence in order to protect the garden from local wildlife, stuff like that. Mike and I will handle the fence. That's kind of a weekend project. I'm giving my team 1 month, the month of May, to kind of go ahead and get the garden, the groundwork laid. Tom is volunteered to till the land, to get the soil ready. And so I've set aside some time, Saturdays 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and Sundays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I understand people have other stuff going on, so we decided that that would work out the best. So once that is done, the next step is to plant the seeds. Fran and I are going to handle the seed planting. I think end of May, beginning of June, it shouldn't take more than 1 to 2 days to get everything in the ground. And that's where the real work begins, the daily maintenance. And I've given a lot of that work to the kids. They volunteered and they're willing to make the community a better place. So the 3 months, June, July, August, is really just maintenance. It's the growing season. That is when they'll be in charge of watering the plants. On days it doesn't rain, I generally like to, in the morning is when I prefer for it to be watered. And I've also given them the task of picking weeds, kind of just monitoring the garden. And they will report back to me.
Hi, so my name is Kelsey.
I prefer
and
email,
today
but
we
kids
will be
these
going
days,
over
they like to
the process
use
of the
their
community
phones,
garden
so
being built. I'm in
I
group
don't
1.
mind text messages. But yeah,
We are doing
so
this project to help the community build a garden.
the harvest comes, Fran and
My
I
team,
are
which is
going
me,
to
Kelsey Carey, Rachel
actually
Beeman,
kind of
Curtis
go
Brown,
in
and
there.
Adam
It's
S.
going to be a
The
team effort, but
objective
we're
is
going to
to
be the
build a
main ones
community
to
garden,
kind of pick the vegetables,
to build a community garden to
get an
enhance nearby
inventory
property
going,
values and to help reduce cost of
and
produce for
kind of
local families.
see how we do.
These are a few key points that we'll be going
And
over today, which is
once
stakeholders,
that's
defining the
complete,
scope, justifying the project,
final phase
develop the
of the
schedule,
project
resource
is
plan,
to
identify risk, and obtain
kind of
approval and
clean up the
commitment.
mess.
The project justification. This
Get the
project
plot ready for next year,
will give
and
this project will
build a
get everybody in the
storage
community
to
involved
have a
to help
place
build a
to put
garden. This will bring
our
value to the
tools.
community and reduce costs for produce for
Again,
local families.
Mike and I
What
are
are the
going to
costs
be the
needed to
main
complete the
ones
project? The project is
to complete this
expected
task.
to have
Tom
expenses
is
totaling
going to help.
$2,000. The net benefit of this is at least
He's kind of
$2,000.
my
It's for a good cause, helping the community be
liaison.
better.
He's going to be in charge of kind of keeping the
The
kids
stakeholders involved in the
on
project is the
track
Neighborhood
for
Association,
the
which is the
duration of the
organization,
project. But
and the organization president
he's willing to
is
help on the
supervisor.
shed.
The
So
organization manager is Jack Willis.
hoping everything
The
goes
hourly
well,
employee is Nick
and
James,
we should
and the
have a good
community
harvest,
volunteers, it would be
and
100
the
of them.
community will get
Also,
nothing but benefit
and the
from this.
stakeholders in the project
So
would be
I would
me and my
appreciate all
teammates,
your help,
which is me, Rachel,
and
Curtis, and
talk to you
Adam.
soon. Bye.
The deliverables for the project will be the community garden. First will be the design layout, and choosing the spot for the planting will happen in June. Getting the supplies and preparing the soil will happen in July. Fencing and project management will happen in August. The first thing we want to do in June, managers will come together to pick out a layout of the garden, which is the design. Step 2 was to choose which fruit and vegetables will go where. 3, get the tools, gloves, bucket, and water, which is the supplies. Step 4 is starting the garden process, which is all happening in July. Next, we'll go to August, which is building the fence and finish gardening plan. Planting. Step 6, check the progress 2 times a week. This chart shows the resources and the spending for the months. In June, we're only going to spend $500. In July, we're only going to spend $500. In August, we're going to spend $1,000. So the budget is $2,000. So in 1 month, we're going to spend $1,000, which is in August towards the end, because maybe you have to put more money in the end on stuff that you thought that you didn't need, but now you need. So the first 2 months would be less, and then the last month is more. May, June, July, August, and September. The network diagram is showing you the months that we need to complete this project in. So the 3 main months are June, July, and August. May and September is added because in case anything happens, we can start earlier in May and go from June and July and finish in July. But if not, if we have to end late, we can go July, August, September, and September. But for now, the main ones are June, July, and August to wrap it up. Early June is when the design should already be made, and we should start the gardening. Everyone involved, including volunteers, can vote on the design. Early June, teams get into groups to do certain assignments, meaning it will be groups working on certain things in the garden each day. June, July, and August is the higher time for produce to grow, so these months are important. We will start the process of the garden in June. July is when we should have all of the supplies. June is when we should have all supplies for everyone to start the process. Also, July is when we start gardening/planting. August is where the garden should be complete. If something has to be pushed back, we can start at the ending of May and end in September, like the diagram showed before this one. The schedule chart is showing us what will happen in each month. So the design layout meeting where everyone will meet will take place in early June for 4 hours. The team meeting is where everybody will get to know each other, which also happens in June before we start, which is 4 hours. The plan review happens in July, which is 4 hours. The setup, start dropping seeds happens in June. Fencing happens in August. And the cleanup happens in August. The communication plan, it shows who is sending the information to everybody. Supervisor Jack Willis sends emails. Who do they send them to? They send them to everybody involved in the project, so me and my teammates and the volunteers. Why? To keep us updated with the meet times and everything going on with the garden. What are we emailing about? They're emailing about the meetings. How are they doing it? Through email? Then every Monday. Where will we meet? At the community center. The risk assessment. It is high to have bugs at the garden. It is high to high also the animals will be there. It's moderate to high for somebody involved in the gardening process to get sunburned. It's moderate for it to rain. It's moderate for any arguments to happen amongst anybody working with the garden. It's moderate for it to be harsh chemicals in the area. And it's low to moderate if it doesn't rain. But okay, what happens if bugs are in the process of building the garden? We can get bug sprays to get them away. If animals are there, we can get a fence so the animals can't eat the fruit or the vegetables up. If sunburn is to happen, we can wear sunscreen or wear hats and long sleeves to prevent it. If it rains, we can use the community center to go in for a few hours to see if the rain will stop. But if not, we can build a tent. If harsh chemicals were to ever be in the area, we'll wear a mask. And if it doesn't rain, we'll have to water the garden ourselves. Team development. Supervisor can welcome everyone to the site. Jack Willis will tell the volunteers what they'll be doing every day. Kurt will dig holes for volunteers. Rachel will plant seeds. Kelsey will water the garden. Adam will help build the fence. Volunteers can lend a hand wherever it's needed, such as handing out water, snacks, gardening, and etc. Everyone will switch roles every day, so they will do an even amount of work and learn how to work well with each other and learn everybody helping out the garden. Balance triangle for meetings. Creating this community garden is to make a safe environment where people in our community can have fresh veggies and be educated on health and STEM tools. The purpose is to create a community garden. Yeah, you can go by. Community garden. This will take place between June, July, August, and should wrap up in early September. We will all meet for an hour every Monday morning. The start of the meeting will be 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. In attendance, project members such as me, Curtis, Rachel, and Adam will be in attendance. The association president, Sue and also Jack Willis would be there. We will meet in the community clubhouse or on Zoom if anything happens. If anything changes, a laptop will be needed on those days. This also shows what was shown earlier, which is the schedule, the closeout meeting. The objective is to build a community garden. It's to enhance nearby property values and to help reduce costs of produce for local families. We will start in the beginning of June and finish the ending of August. If things get pushed back, we will finish in September with the garden. The closeout meeting is where we should get all of our contracts signed and approvals. So remember, the budget is $2,000. Project closeout is where you want to get all of your approvals. So that will happen towards the end, which is now, which is to the right. The lesson learned from this project is to not wait to do things last minute and to communicate with your teammates, obtain signatures and obtain approvals. Thank you for your time.